It's about to go down. Lateka S Carter's on a new platform where she educate, enlighten, entertain, and empower the audience worldwide.
Lateka S Carter Show. Lateka S Carter Show. Lateka S Carter Show. It's showtime. Let's go.
Showtime, Lateka S Carter Show. Welcome everyone who is coming into the Lateka S Carter Show. I am your host, as well as the CEO and executive consulting for LSC Global LLC. LSC Global is a consulting and coaching company primarily for women. I don't exclude if men need some assistance in their business, in their career field, as far as if they have consulting services that they would like for my company to be able to extend them. But this company is primarily set up to help take women's careers, their businesses, and their lives to ascending levels. So welcome into the Lateka S Carter Show, where this will be one of many that we will be doing to educate, empower, and of course, entertain women, men from all over the world. So I'm glad to be able to come before you as your host, as well as the executive consultant here today. Hope you enjoyed that intro, the Lateka S Carter Show. Now, in my former life, I have been a radio personality named Diva's Boss Lady. Also, I have had my own TV show where we aired on local channel ABC, as well as YouTube. We had some shows that came on YouTube called the Naked and Not Ashamed Show. And I must tell you, those things will be coming back. But for now, just to let you know, I am no stranger to the TV or to media. Some of you may have caught me coming in on what I have is Lateka S Carter Ministries. I am a licensed and ordained minister, and I do have my own ministry where I also help take people's lives, equipping them to live their life. So I equip generations to live all through the power of God, of course. So welcome in today to the Lateka S Carter Show, again, where this will be one of many where we will be helping women to take their careers, their lives, their business to ascending levels. So my tagline, if you haven't went and checked this out yet, is we are persistent, determined, and purpose for ascension. In other words, that's the PDP influencers that I'm looking for. And what does that mean? That you have the ability to influence not only your family, but your community and other people around you to take their lives to ascending levels. So that means that you might as well prepare to go to levels that you have never had a chance to go to yet. So if you're just joining or catching me out for the first time, thank you so much for joining the Lateka S Carter Show. There will be times that I'll be bringing in other guests to have conversations with, to encourage, equip, and educate you in whatever area that we're going to be talking about. But today we are talking about a very important topic. And if you would like to shout out, if you're watching or will be watching, even in the replay, where you're watching from, and if you have a business, let me know the business that you have, especially if you're coming on now. I would love to be able to shout your business out so people can go in, find out what you're doing, and connect with you as well. But today, we are talking about the topic, why do people hate, which is such a strong word, or dislike their jobs? Oh, that's kind of a touchy subject, but we like to keep it real on this show as well as on my ministry level. We like to keep things real because behind closed doors, behind the scenes, behind the walls, where everyone can't see or hear your conversation, you could be someone who you don't like your job either, or you find it challenging and you're trying to do everything that you can to stay there there for whatever reason that is. So let's go ahead and dive into this topic, if you will. Why do people hate or dislike their job? And maybe this is you. Maybe you hate or dislike your job, because hate is such a strong word. But you do have people who do hate their job, and they have reasons why they have to go to work. But let me help you out. 85%, based on statistics that I had been studying, 85% of people, 85, catch that. Now, if you're watching me on IG, I have my whiteboard here, and of course you can't see it, but those of you who are watching via YouTube and Facebook streaming live, you can see me put in the information on my board. So 85% out of 100 people, that's like 8.5 to 10 people dislike their job. I'm not going to say hate, because like I said, that's such a strong word, but 85% of people dislike their jobs. And I'll even say, probably me just using my intellect here, I would say half of that hate their job. Let's just not take it that far. Maybe 30 to 40% of those people within the 85% range hate their jobs. Sometimes we as people, we do things that we have to do for that moment in time. We will take on a job because of what we have to do in life. And we could find ourselves stuck in that place, trying to climb the ladder. And some of you may have climbed the ladder, but you're still at that point where you don't like your job and you are ready for a change. So before we move into getting ready for change, or why you just don't leave, let's break down why 85% in the statistics hate their job, dislike their job. Let me be nice. Why do people dislike their jobs? Maybe this is you. You don't have to put it into the comments, or maybe you're willing to put it into the comments. Why do you dislike, or have you ever been in a position where you have disliked a job that you have had to work once upon a time in your life? Maybe you chose a career path that you didn't like. What would you say the top 5 reasons are for people not liking the jobs that they have? You guessed it. The big old bad boss. The boss. Or let's just say management. Sometimes you can have a great boss, but it's the pressure that he or she may feel to be the manager that may cause a little bit pressure to come down to the employees of a team. Now, I will take it a little step further and let you know, experience for me is a good teacher. And I would like to say, being a boss in my career path years ago, when I worked and I became a manager of a retail store, once upon a time when I chose to leave industry. I'm not going to continue to sew, to make pants, to make sweatshirts, those jogging pants and the sweatshirts that you all love to wear, the hoodies. Yes, once upon a time, I used to be one of the ones who had to work that type of job to take care of my family. I used to do that. But when I made a decision that I was ready to do something different with my life, I moved into a field of moving into the retail industry. I was put on the schedule. This was me just taking a chance, saying, I can't work in a factory any longer. I cannot sew anybody else's pants or cuffs or seams onto their shirts. I don't want to sew tablecloths. I don't want to sew curtains or sheets, because I did that. I didn't want to do that any longer. I knew that there was something more on the inside of me to do. So I said, let me move forward into retail. And I started putting in applications. Hello, thank you so much for that love. I started putting in applications, and the application that I put in landed me a job at a retail store. And the retail store said, you know what? We may be able to give you Don't laugh at me when I say this, but I'm going to keep it real because this is the truth. I'm almost 50, but this is the truth. I was ready for more. And for me, more meant I'm not going back into the industry working my butt off for what they called then piecemeal. I was on a job where if you kept working hard, you keep having your rate, the amount that you're making per hour to go up. But if something happened to your machine and it took you down some notches, then your money, what you thought you were making $7 an hour, took you back down to minimum wage. At that time was $4.25. I kid you not, $4. Would you make $4.25 now on your job, 40 hours a week? I was making $4.25. Hello, coach. Good to see I got my coach out here, Ramon Preston. Y'all got to go check him out, RamonPreston.com. He is my coach. I love him, and he has already taken my life proven to ascending level. So I'm on here because he helped me to see my career path. And that means I'm giving you what I have been given as well. Plus, experience is a good teacher. So going back to the 425, I was making $4.25 an hour. That meant if I worked real hard on piece rate, I could get up to $7 an hour. Some of you are making $7.25 now because that is what is classified as the minimum wage, and they're moving it up in certain places. But $7.25, we're talking about $4.25. So I knew I don't want to do that any longer. That has to be more in life than me sewing or sticking tags. You know, the tags that you all see inside of your clothes when you go into these department stores. I did that too once upon a time, just to take care of my family. I did whatever I had to do within the right means to take care of my family. But now, fast forward, I made a decision years ago. I want more because there is more. And I was willing to take a risk to get out here and see what kind of more it was for me. I actually took a job that put me on call. Y'all catch this. Put me on call for 3 hours a week at $4.25. 3 hours. I was on call to be on the schedule to work 3 hours at $4.25. Well, because I decided to be on call, because I knew there was more, just like you know that there is so much more to your life than working your 9 to 5 on the job that you work. Maybe you're in a career and you're saying, you know what, I'm so over this. There has to be more to my life than this. Maybe you've come to the end of that career and it's time to switch and do something different. Well, that's where I was in my life at that time. I was ready for more. So I took the job, 3 hours on call with 3 small kids, and I was married with children at the same time. Okay, so I took it. But let me tell you what happened. My goodness, what you're willing to see that you can get when you put yourself out there. A few weeks, I was able to start working part-time on the schedule all the time. Now, I still was making $4.25, but I still knew there was more to my life, and I did what was necessary to get out there and make it happen, just like you. Isn't it time for you to get out there and make things happen for you? So what happened on that job, it landed me. People kept moving because it was a revolving door, and I kept coming in. I kept showing up. And then they said, we have a management position available. I had never been a manager before, but you best believe I put in, hey, what about me? And I got the job. I was making a little bit more than $4.25. I don't even remember how much it was, but it was still more. And it was still giving me an opportunity. I'm not going back to the factory. We're not going to be sewing or tagging sleeves or working, folding up boxes, because there's so much more in my life than that. I didn't know where I am now. Career path, over 20 years in the banking lending, financial industry. That's how long I have been in the position that I'm in, not to mention marketplace ministry. I have my own nonprofit, I have my own holding company, my own businesses, and I work a full-time job as a loan advisor / loan officer. So don't tell me what you're not able to do when you put yourself in the right position, knowing there is so much more in your life than what you're doing right now. And until that time comes for me to vacate, I love my life. I love what I do. So it enabled me to move up the ladder. And as I began to move up the ladder, I started my own business, hiring people. My business that I started was also given an opportunity years ago. It was given an opportunity to be able to offer a government assistant program where I've mentored the employees while the government paid them. Don't tell me what you can't do if you put yourself in a position so that you can obtain more. So the number one reason that people do not like their job is because boss and management. And I do know from experience, as you climb up the ladder, there are times that your bosses have been given rules and things that they have to follow to pass on down to the employees. And sometimes the boss can make it harder, or the executives that's given the boss what they need to do to make things harder. So that's the number one reason why people dislike or hate their job. Now let's talk about number two. Number two, can you catch what it is? Come on, y'all. Your team members, your colleagues, your peers on your job. They are the number two reasons why people don't like their job. You can't pick who you sit beside a lot of times on your job, or who you have to report to, or things of that nature. And sometimes being around the wrong person can make things more challenging or more difficult for you. You can have a hard time getting along with someone or a few people on your job. Let's keep it real. People can be so petty. They have reasons why they go through the things that they go through, but that's the number two reason. Team members, been there, done that, got a story, won't tell it today. Maybe you come back and catch me again. I'll be able to share with you that story of how I almost lost my job because someone was sabotaging me, but they let go of that person and kept me, and I moved all the way up until the vice president of the company, because what God had for me, it was for me. What God has for you, it is for you. The number three reason, we said number one was the boss of management. Number two, team members, colleagues, some people that you know. You need more than coffee to deal with them. Keep that real. The number three reason why people do not like their job is the type of work they have to do. The type of work. Like I said, sometimes you come in, you may have went to college because you wanted to be in a certain degree field, but that didn't end up paying you what you thought it was going to pay you, or land you the opportunity that you thought it was going to land you. I remember working at Bank of America, working at these Fortune 500 companies, and there are people in there with degrees. They just got their degrees, and I'm making more money than they are with no degree, with experience, making more than them, and they're reporting to me. Let me tell you, sometimes the degree that you choose may not be the degree that you thought you were going to want to do that kind of work in, or you found that it didn't really pay what you thought it was going to pay. And sometimes what you find yourself having to do doesn't mean you like what you do. It means you have a reason why you have to work. So you have a reason why you had to choose that particular job. And sometimes with how life goes, jobs get harder because of the reasons why you have the employers pressing down, changing the rules and regulations, policies and procedures of a job. And you can find yourself doing more work with less pay. So that's the number three reason why people dislike their job is because of the type of work. Now, number 4, the distance. Oh my God. When I moved to Atlanta, listen, I left one company because I wanted a better opportunity for my son to come to Atlanta to go to college. And I kept it real. I moved here. Well, I was given an opportunity to work in Buckhead when I first moved here, to work for an attorney's office. Well, when I started working for the attorney's office, the commute from north to south was insane. Not to mention, I wasn't used to that kind of traffic. The commute, that meant I had to get up at 5:30 or before 5:30 every morning, around 5 o'clock every morning, to leave my house by 6 to make sure I could be at work at 7:30. Do you catch that? I had to get up and make sure I leave my house at 6 in the morning just to get to work on time by 7:30. The commute was insane. And leaving work, getting off at 2:30, I would do good if I got home at 5. If I needed to stop by the store to pick up some items or to cook dinner, that meant my commute was longer. If there was a holiday or something going on, my commute was longer. I felt myself being truly a disgruntled person, not just because of what was going on the job. I enjoyed what I did on my job, but it was the fact that I knew what I had to deal with. That meant I wasn't getting enough time at home. I wasn't getting enough time with family. I was just feeling the pressure of the traffic, dealing with insane drivers. If you live in Atlanta, you already know. If you live in Texas, you live in LA, you live upstate, you already know how this traffic is. Let's not forget Charlotte, North Carolina. Whew, that traffic too. Been there, done that, lived there as well. So distance or commute is the number 4 reason why people dislike their job. What about you? Do you really like where you work? And that's not saying you need to tell me, because somebody on they could be watching. So you don't have to tell me, but you know for yourself if you like your job or you don't. What do you need to do to change that? Only you know what you're willing to do to change it. We're not going to talk about what you need to do to change it today, but if you would like to come into my getting a free consultation so we can talk about it and help set you up so that you can finally get in a position where you at least like your job enough to have an exit plan, please don't leap before you have a plan, because I've done that too. Whew, that caused so many problems for me for years, because I jumped due to my emotional roller coaster that I was having, feeling as if I wasn't being done right on the job that I worked on. Had nothing to do with them, because they thought a lot of me and I was doing great things there, but it was me. It was all me. We'll talk about that another day too. See, I got a lot of stuff that I could talk about with you. Been there, done that. Single parent, having to take care of children by myself, having to work, being the one who has to be the provider, being the one who has to be the problem solver, all of that. I get it. Been married with a job and children. I understand. So I want to be able to help you to get there, to have better opportunities. But sometimes it's easy as having a conversation. Now, the fifth reason why people dislike their job is the lack of opportunities. The lack of opportunities. Limited to opportunities, limited to the education or the experience to be able to transfer or to be able to move forward into a better role within that job, or even going to another job. So you have boss for the number 1 reason, or management is people dislike their job. You have number 2, colleagues, their team members, the reason why they don't like their job. Number 3, the type of work that they may find themselves doing that they just don't like to do. Number 4 is the distance or the commute. The reasons why 85% of people statistically are showing do not like their job. And number 5, the lack of opportunities, or even the opportunities for you to do what you want to do. I had a conversation with someone that I had to consult, and they really didn't like the fact that they were forced to be in a position where they had to get a certain kind of job or just get a job to take care of their means. And what I shared with them was sometimes you have to do what you need to do until you do it long enough, you can do what you want to do. Understand your job. It helps take care of your means. If you don't need to work, then this doesn't pertain to you. But most of us who have to work, the job takes care of the means, or even makes you feel as if you're satisfied with the things that you do in life. Because I know people who have plenty of money, but they choose to work only because they're looking for something more to do different than what they've done in their life. They want to try something else. They don't feel pressured enough to feel like some of the people that we're talking about, the 85%, they work because they choose to do something differently. I'm speaking more of those who have to work to take care of their jobs. So sometimes you have to do what you need, what you have to do to take care of those needs. So the day will come that you work because you want to work to do the things that you want to do in your life. Now, before I go, I want to talk to you about why people don't leave. So if 85% of people don't like what they do not like their job, why don't they just leave? Been there, done that too. I worked with a lot of people who hated their job, and I hated my job. One of the jobs I worked on too, it got to the point I was done. I was tired. I was over it. I felt myself getting sick all the time. I felt myself having to go to the emergency room, being taken out of work. It was just so much pressure that was put on me. And there were so many people that had been there decades. I had only been there a couple of years. We're talking about decades. And they hated their job so much. And I always ask the question then, if you hate your job that much, why don't you leave? And Lateka, sometimes it's not that easy. If people dislike their job so much, why don't they leave? That's simple, right? We could say it's that simple. Why don't they leave? Well, I want to give you 5 reasons why they don't leave. And we're going to make this quick. If you have a question, if you're watching, or if you watch the replay, make sure you drop that question. Or you can go to my website now and sign up for a free consultation. Free. I offer a 30-minute consultation, and I promise you, in the consultation, I give you so much more than just that 30 minutes. I give you enough information to help you move forward with a decision. So you can go to lscgloballlc.com/consulting and get a free consultation with me. You can set that up. And it's free for you. So if you're one of the ones that I'm talking about, that's saying that you're not a bad person. That's just keeping it real, keeping it honest, staying in reality. So why don't the people leave if they don't like their jobs? The number 1 reason is responsibility. Responsibility. What we have. The responsibility of the responsibilities that we have. That's the number 1 reason why people don't leave, because they hate their job, but they understand I'm responsible for people. I'm responsible for doing things. I have responsibility that I have to meet, or I have to do, or they just feel like the benefits that they have on the job outweigh how they really feel. So they feel pressured to stay for the responsibility or responsibilities that they have in life. The number 2 reason is income. Income is the number 2 reason why people don't leave. The amount of money that they need to take care of their responsibilities is not as easy as some people would think. If you're making a certain amount of money and you know how much you need, but you don't like your job, if you try to go to another place, sometimes, as we were just talking about, the opportunities that may be there, maybe you lack the experience, or you lack what is being required as the fulfillment to obtain that job. So the income level that you need, your job may be paying you enough to take care of your responsibilities, or where you really want to go, what you really want to do with your life is not paying enough to make you want to leave, because of the number one reason, which is the responsibility. So let's talk about the number three, and I'm almost out of here. I hope this is helping you. I definitely have more that I would love to talk to, but because of time, I want to give you enough so you can keep coming back, checking out my show, and you can come in and just let's have a conversation. The people that I have already been consulting, they have already seen a change in their life, in their decision making, whether it be to move into a different career field, it be a decision to obtain roles, go back into the marketplace to work, or come out of the marketplace, start working your own business, having your own responsibilities that you have set up to handle. I have been able to help women out there. And I would love to be able to help you do the same thing. The number three reason is the other job, the opportunities. I'm just going to abbreviate this. The other job opportunities, maybe they don't fit the requirements. They don't have enough skill set that will enable them to go do what it is they really want to do with their life. The number one reason why people don't leave is family or responsibility of family. The number two is income. And the number three is the job opportunity, what the other job has set as a requirement, the skill set, the degree or experience that you need to have in order to make that transition. That's the number third reason why people don't leave. The number fourth reason is, I'm going to put these two together. So number 4 and number 5. Maybe this is relatable to you. The what ifs for number 4. The what ifs. What if this doesn't work out? What if I fail? What if I get there? It's just so much better over here. At least I know what I'm dealing with. At least I know what to expect on this job. At least I know the boss, the manager. At least I know. The what ifs stop people from making a decision to go into better. So the what if things could fail? What if things could go wrong? What if I get over there and the pay is not what I thought it was going to be? Done that too. I was making a certain amount of money, and when the mortgage bubble bursted like it did in 2008, 2009, I transitioned my life. I moved to a different city because of where I was mentally. Of course, I was so overwhelmed. So many things were going wrong. I tried to end it all because of the pressure and everything that I felt in life. I started feeling like a failure. I started feeling I was letting my family down because of the things that I was experiencing. So God just let me know, I need you to move away. Put my house on the market. I moved away, and the job that I took paid me so much less than what I had been used to making. But I stayed there. And when I went there, I was a temp. I was temping. But then they said, we will hire you permanently if you just hang in there until we're ready to open it up. So I did. And when I went there, I had never in my life experienced a temp agency. What I was making was more than what I made through the actual employer. When I got hired, they cut my pay. They said that was because of all the benefits that they offered. The what ifs. The what ifs. Of course, they don't tell you that when you're in the interview and they sucker you on into the position. I had to work. I had to take care of my responsibilities. So the what ifs. What if it doesn't work out right? The what if I get stuck working beside a Jane that the one that was on my job was worse. The what ifs. And then the other one is just plain old fear. The fear along with the what ifs together are number 4 and number 5 of the reasons why people just won't leave the jobs that they're on. The what ifs, that we can have a tendency to focus on what if could go wrong more than we will focus or take a chance removing fear on what if it does work out right. I moved here anyway. I was told I was crazy. I was out of my mind. I did it because I'm a faith walker. So I chose faith over fear. And God worked that thing out for me, all the way worked it out for me, because I took a risk. And I'm not telling you just to up and jump. I'm telling you that everything was structured to the point that I understood with the plan where I was about to go and what I had to do in my life. So if this falls in any of your thought processes or life of you not liking your job, you hating your job, or you feeling like you're stuck, I want to have a conversation with you. I want to talk to you. So please, please, please go out there, please, on my website. Check out what I have to offer. You can even be a part of my coaching program. It's a 12-month coaching program. It's very structured. We will talk about your goals. We will talk about what it is that you want to do with your life. I love to do things simple when it comes to 1, 2, 3, easy as ABC is how I like to put it. And that means in the beginning, you're going to have your free assessment. We're going to talk about what it is you're looking to do through this coaching program. However, there's going to be an assessment that will be made. And from that assessment, the first month, we're going to go through what is called an ADP. I love acronyms. A stands for assessment. We're going to assess your life, the good, the bad, the positive, the negative, all the in between. We're going to assess where you are in your life first and foremost. Then we're going to move into detoxing. We're going to detox all of those negative attributes, all of those negative components that continue to keep you in the cycles are stopping you from moving forward in your life, because we should be put in a position in our life where we're continuing to excel, we're continuing to grow, we're continuing to move forward in our life. If the world continues to change and evolve, why aren't we changing and moving forward in a positive capacity? And if you feel that you're not moving forward, or you're stuck, or it's just time to change, I want to have just a simple conversation with you. You don't have to join join my coaching program, but at least let's have a conversation to see, what does that look like for you? Do you feel that the consultation may be enough for you to make a decision? And then later, maybe it's not the right time and you do want to join. Maybe you have to join a later time. Well, we don't know until we have that conversation. So after you go through the assessment, we go through the detoxing, then we can go to what the ADP part of is, which is planning. That's recalibrating your life, recalibrating those positive things that we have, habits that you need to form to put you in a better position where you're constantly waking up winning. You're constantly feeling yourself being able to breathe a little bit better, having a little more peace, having a little more excitement. I want to get you to that place where you are excited to wake up every day because you're waking up with a different perspective. You may be on a job that you didn't like, but I want to show you how to make that thing work until you can have an exit strategy. And the exit strategy may just mean not leaving the company, but moving into a different role. Maybe the company can offer you something better that's more geared toward what you know you would enjoy doing with your life. And after we move through the ADP, which is the first month of the program, we're going to go into what is called our POAs, and that's nothing but a blueprint for your goals. So it's called POA, which means plan of action. And from the plan of action, because you have detoxed yourself, you have recalibrated your life. Now, since I got this out the way, since I know this is what was really going on, and I decided to let things be and really focus on me, really focus on what I want, we're going to set a plan of action. And that plan of action could mean moving you from career path into a different career field. It could mean taking you from an employer to being your own self-employed individual where you have your own business, maybe even with an e-commerce store. Only you know what it is that you want to do. So I want to help take your career, your business, and your life to ascending levels. You can get started for $125 for a limited time. $125. It's a limited time. I cannot stress that enough. I am dropping the price because I want to help women get their life in a place where they are excited, even with children, excited, even with your boo, excited because you wake up with a different perspective. You're waking up, you're going to a job or a career that you enjoy, and you have a whole different perspective on life. We have structures that will be put in place, even with resume writing, skill sets. If you have a business, we're going to talk about the one-on-ones with business, how to structure it, how to get it ready, how to get you ready, because changing a job is not always the answer. Sometimes you can go from one job to another job thinking it is going to be better. But if you don't change this first, you don't change this, all you're going to see is what you left. So it's important that you change your mindset so that you can enjoy where you are, even if that job is going to be temporary, until you can get yourself in a place of where you know you want to be in your career field. So please, please, please come on and reach out to me, Lateka S Carter. Go to lscglobal.com, lscglobal.com/coaching if you want to just have your assessment, and let's just have a conversation to see if this will work for you. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Well, that's it for me. I hope you have enjoyed our segment today on the Lateka S Carter Show. Why do people hate or dislike their job? Don't forget, go sign up. Go sign up and enjoy what we are able to give you for free, and even be a part of our program. And here's a good thing. You go to my website, you can sign up for free membership. There are so many perks that comes along with the membership of being an LSC Global member for free. So you gotta go sign up at least for that and be among other women who are changing the game. They are influencers. I'm building it, but I'm telling you, this is a groundbreaking opportunity, and you won't be disappointed that you joined. So until I see you again on next week, thank you so much for joining the Lateka S Carter Show. I'll see you next week. Peace and blessings.